Welcome back. Before I introduce Total Telema, I've taken a leave, and of course, I've brought in my next guest. Talking about someone whose name is on Wikipedia. I keep talking about that. Victor Ezeji, a legend, future Hall of Famer, someone who has played 20 seasons in the Nigeria Professional Football League. But let me quickly inform you. Let's talk a little tennis now. Rafael Nadal says he's going to be back in December. He's going to be in the United Arab Emirates. That's when he's going to make his return. He didn't make the ATP World Tour Finals this year because it wasn't part. It wasn't in the top 8, and of course, his form has dipped. So, but the Spaniard says he will be back for the Mubdala World Tennis Championship. He will be back in that one. It's going to be from December 29 to 31 in Abu Dhabi. Andy Murray is also scheduled to play in that event. And of course, Rafael Nadal is defending champion. He beat Milos Raonic in the previous edition. All right, let's quickly talk about the IAAF, talk about the athletes of the year. And of course, the choices have been made. Talking about athletes that will win. We have 3 for the guys, 3 for the ladies. Talking about the guys, the athletes of the year. Usual suspects, Usain Bolt in that one. Of course, Mo Farah in that one. And Wade van Niekerk. One of these 3 will win the male athlete of the year, the IAAF male athlete of the year. Talking about the women, Almaz Ayana of Ethiopia has been chosen. She does long distance. We also have Elaine Thompson. Remember her from Rio 2016. She won the 100 meters and the 200 meters as well. She also won the 4x100 meters silver. And of course, the hammer thrower from Poland, Anita Wlodarczyk, also chosen. So we'll keep the tabs on that. The finalists were determined by a 3-way voting process, and the winners will be announced later this year at the IAAF Awards for 2016. All right, let's go to my guest now. Victor, I've mentioned your name for a while, but it's nice to have you with us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Good to have me here too.
You know, let's quickly talk about the Super Eagles. There are a lot of other things to talk about, but I'm curious, when you have a big game like this and you are in camp, 3 days to go, what will be going through the mind of that player? I know you've been invited, you've played for the Super Eagles 3 occasions, but what usually, ahead of the big day, you're in camp, what goes through your mind?
Okay, just for the records, I have 8 caps.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Thank
8
you.
caps
Okay.
and 4 goals. So, firstly, as a player, the first thing that comes through your head is try to visualize the game. What do you think? What's your impact? What do you think you can make of this game? And then next thing is to relax.
Okay.
You have to be very calm. You just have to be relaxed. You have to make sure
You don't have to be tense.
You don't have to be tense, because once you start putting pressure on yourself before it comes from the 12th man, which is the fans, then you will have so much problems. But I think basically what I do, because I have to talk for myself, I don't know how other players do. Yeah, I have to relax. I have to try and picture the game played in my heart, and then the bottom line is rest. Once you have absolute rest, you have absolute energy to expend. So once you're able to do all that, I think you come out with flying colors.
Okay, I didn't play football professionally, but I know that back in those days when you're little, when there's a big game, you start shivering. Does it happen to you guys in a big game? You know, you're a bundle of nerves, you're shivering, you just can't relax properly. Is there anything players do to condition themselves?
Yeah, but that's true. Everybody is human. There is no way you have a big game that you won't be tense, even if not for not that much, but a little bit. You must be tense because you have so many things running through your head. If you lose, what's going to happen?
Okay.
And you want to win. And you just have to be tensed a little bit. But the bottom line is you have a way of calming yourself. Some people listen to music. Some people want to read. Like me, I love talking to my family. Once I speak to my wife and my kids, I'm perfect. I'm good to go.
Ahead of a big game.
Yes, ahead of a big game.
It calms you.
I do. That's every game that I play. I must speak to my family. Once I talk to my wife and my kids, I'm good. And my daughter will keep reminding me, "Daddy, make sure you score a goal."
Okay.
So that hits me at my head every day.
You want to deliver.
Yes, I would need to deliver, because once you come back home, did you score? That's the first thing they ask you. They don't want to know who won. Did you score? That's the propelling force that I have on my own part. But I think basically there is nobody that is not nervous when it comes to big games.
Okay. I'll drag you into it. Nigeria, Algeria. What do you think is going to happen when Nigeria takes on Algeria? From what you've seen, what you've gathered, just your opinion.
We've gotten a fantastic team this time around. We've got players that are ready to run down any defense line in the world. They are very young, very energetic, and we've seen their input week in, week out. I think for me, Nigeria should just be concentrated on doing our thing, which is to win the game, because that's the only way you can progress. Now we have our nose in front. There is no need thinking of what the next man is playing. If we keep winning our games, everybody will. Yeah, we shouldn't bother. Most times we always find ourselves in a tight situation where we start calculating what the next person is going to play. But now we have a chance of going ahead.
Don't need anybody's favor.
Don't need anybody's favor. If we win this game, we're 5 points clear of Algeria. So we shouldn't bother whatever Cameroon plays. Ours is now to see how we can tackle Cameroon and pull them down. We're able to do that. I'm very sure we will be the first team to even qualify for Russia 2018.
Okay. Well, let's talk about you now. 20 seasons. I can tell you that you're a future Hall of Famer. What you have done, you don't know the impact now, but in years to come, you will fully appreciate it. I mean, how did you last that long? Does it have to do with lifestyle? What exactly did you do to last that long?
Well, firstly, I would say it's just God's grace.
What about injuries?
Yeah, that's why I said it's God's grace, because I'm a striker and I hardly get injured. I just don't know how to quantify it. But for me, basically, I think first thing is God's grace.
Okay.
2, it has to do with your lifestyle.
All right.
You know when you have to do
what not
this,
to do.
exactly.
Avoid partying.
There are things you don't need to do, and there are things you need to do, and when you need to do them. Most times people get it twisted. Okay. And once you get it twisted, you start having issues. I was able to play for 20 years, no major injury.
Wow.
No major injury. It's not like I don't hang on to balls. It's not like I don't do other things other players do. But discipline is a watchword. I'm not a good person in quotes, but I know how to manage myself before a game, after a game. I know when I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to. But I think basically it has to do with God's grace, discipline, and the encouragement that I got from everybody that is around me.
Okay. Let's also talk about your journey outside Africa. We'll come back to talk about the league. But your sojourn, you were also outside of this country.